I've always had an interesting relationship with my dreams. I think maybe life itself is a form of dream. A third of our lives are spent asleep, and almost all of it passes by without any recollection. Why is that? It seems such a waste. Every so often, though, something impossible happens. We not only remember our dreams, we actually become aware within them. Most people think they only fall asleep once a day. I'm not so sure that's true. I think we drift in and out of unconsciousness all day long. Lost in thought, lost in screens, lost in memory. Modern life is just so busy. We all have our routines, and they become so embedded that life just happens on autopilot. The moment passes us by because we're always looking for the next one, playing out endless scenarios in our minds, planning for the future, ruminating on the past. The moment becomes just a waypoint to the next one. We drift through our days unaware, and we get so caught up in the day-to-day that sometimes we miss the things that are right in front of us. We wander unconsciously through life and unconsciously through sleep, and before we know it, another year has passed and it feels like it went so quickly that nothing has really changed. But what if we slowed down and started to pay attention to the detail of life? What if we spent more time just being right here, right in this very moment, noticing the richness of our sensory experience? How might our lives change if we realise the moment is all we ever have? The moment we're in is our life. When we bring more awareness to the moment, we start to see the world differently. The mundane becomes the extraordinary. We start to see the little things we didn't notice before. Our minds are a field of awareness, and when we consciously direct our attention onto that awareness, something changes. Life has within it magic, and when we begin to notice that, things open up to us that we simply weren't aware of before. The signposts of a greater reality are always there, but most of the time we just don't recognise them. We just walk on by and don't stop to take in what our environment is telling us. If we're to become aware in our dreams, to become lucid, we need to not wait until bedtime to become more aware. We need to become lucid now, in waking life. All too often we can be going about our business and we're so locked up in our heads that we just don't notice. If we slow down, rush less, walk slower, open our eyes a little wider, stop for a moment and look around. Feel the sensations of the moment, really noticing our environment. Our world expands. We're no longer just in our head, we're right here, awake, lucid. Take note of our state, of exactly what it feels like to be right here, right now. When we start paying attention, time feels slower. Days feel longer. Ordinary moments don't disappear so quickly anymore. It becomes apparent that we have been missing the signposts that are right in front of our nose. When we start to feel the texture of what waking reality feels like, when we recognise that, that's when our world changes. as we notice when that texture changes. We notice when we are somewhere else. That is lucidity. So start right here. Notice the world around you. Notice where you are. And tonight, as waking gives way to sleep, notice the change. There's a whole other world waiting for you to visit, waiting for you to wake up, waiting for you to notice.